Hello everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd take another look at the workshop and see what's out there. A bunch of new stuff again, and so every creation here was like a first time see for me. I jumped up there this morning and seen what was there and grabbed some. The very first one here is by Bonedog, and this is the Marauder ICC-BD. Um, yeah, I've noticed that Bonedog really likes mechs, and he's made quite a few mechs, and this is a very cool one. Yeah, I like how the legs and the feet were done, all the interesting things on it. Now mechs in the game typically don't work wonderfully because of the strangeness of it. And this is actually a SV, so it does fly, but this actually looks functionable. Of course, it has the big legs, which is a bit awkward in EGS since the legs can't work, but uh, it has decent firepower on it, and essentially it's like an SV fighter. And even if the legs weren't there, which the legs look really cool, I definitely want to keep them there, but the top side of it looks very cool as well. Obviously, probably in part modeled around a Marauder mech from a lot of different video games, and well, and Mech Warrior and all those different things. It's a common mech model. A very cool looking mech too, by the way. And yeah, so I definitely like this one. I like how it's textured and colored. It's got some different contrast in there. It does have decent weapons. The thrusters are kind of tucked away, so they're not like right in your face, which would look kind of strange on a mech too, since they walk and typically don't fly. But I keep on looking at this, like even if it didn't have the entire leg structure, it would be a very cool SV to fly around. It's just neat. I love how these arms are done too, and the shaping around the arms and holding all these different weapons. Spec-wise, on this one, it is totally compatible with Reforged Eden, and I'm in Reforged Eden for all these creations today. You can see where it's sitting on CPU at about 40,000. It's good up to 53,000 with the stock CPU cores in it. But very cool. Definitely awesome work. I'd have to take a look at the whole mech collection that he made. They're definitely a pretty cool thing. I just love a game like this where you can do everything else, but imagine if you had like ways to make working mech legs. That'd be pretty amazing. I haven't seen that one done yet. I think I seen some example in Space Engineers, but it was not quite right, and a lot of scripting and things to make the legs move. But yeah. Anyway, very cool. So the next creation I wanted to show is a different one, and this is actually a POI. Now, because it's a POI, when spawned in the world, you would not see this big box below it, which is all underground stuff. You just see the top level of it. And I think this is it's using like a totally different set of textures in a different ways, and creates a totally different looking style in Empyrion that you just don't see very much of because it's it's a space game. But this one is I don't know, kind of like an ancient temple. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. So this creation here is the Ancestral Sanctuary, and this is made by, oh man, where'd my list go? And this is made by Helen Red. And this it looks really cool. The texturing and the use of textures and the architectural style kind of really dial this in. I definitely like that. I always wanted to do something kind of like this myself. So basically, I don't want to try to like run through the whole POI. Obviously, I can anyway since I'm in creative mode here. But definitely, it's got the this big open hallway look. It's used in different parts, like the bookshelves for decorative things that aren't bookshelves, kind of like just fancy windows and things like that. And that's that is cool in itself too. That's a neat part that can be used in different ways to create different effects. But But obviously, you would be running around shooting a lot of stuff. And this one doesn't look too cramped, so it looks like it'd be more like a UT shooter kind of thing, which I think would be a very fun POI to run, just by the looks of it. And then you'd probably have to figure out some things. And then, of course, you get in it. I don't know this POI or how to get through it, but I do know that if you go down right now, there's probably a trigger to unlock these blast doors. Lots of blast doors. Some back rooms over here, too. More bad guys are going to come in and shoot you up. And then, obviously, somewhere there is a way down. But we're going to skip that, and I'm going to just go down because I don't want to give away how to get through this POI. A lot of different rooms down under here, too. And, yeah, there's... looks like there's going to be a lot to go through on this POI. So yeah, maybe if this gets into the game or Reforged Eden or both, that'd be really cool. I'd like to definitely want to find this one somewhere and check it out. Looks like it's quite the adventure. And it keeps on going down deeper and deeper here too. Oh, this looks really cool. I like these big columns, how they're done. And then using this deco piece in the walls there, that looks really sharp too. And different color bricks. Yeah, just showing you some different potential of Empyrion away from the normal the spaceship and modern space stuff. This one's, wow, this even goes down further. Okay, I can't give it all away. It looks like it'd be a good run, though. It definitely does. I like the open corridors on this and the big hallways. It's fitting. Kind of, although it's not Egyptian style, it kind of reminds me of like ancient Egypt kind of things, big columns and things like that, but of different architectural style and texturing. Very cool creation. And it's a lot of work building these POIs too, and then testing these POIs. And a lot of times they don't get much credit, but I have noticed that this one is on the front page of Empyrion, and that is really cool because I always felt that POIs, because players can't like bring them in their game instantly and add them to their game really easily. It's almost like you're kind of dependent. Either you make your own custom scenario, or you hope that like the creators of Reforged Eden or the game devs themselves would put it in the game, so it would be just another place to explore and check out and get some loot from. And running POIs can be a lot of fun, especially when there's a lot of them and they're really fun. But again, love the architectural style, looks of the texture, and probably a lot of experimentation with texturing to come up with the right color scheme to really dial that in. And the further out you are from it too, it's crazy. It's a big POI too. I mean, obviously there's a bunch up top here too, so there's a lot to go through, and it goes down pretty far into the ground too. So at least 3 floors below the main floors that you see visible. So the next one here is by filbertfarmer, and this is the Kopi Freighter for Reforged Eden, and this I believe is based around the Expanse TV show. Part of, I believe it's for Excalibur's challenge. And this one, yeah, I think it looks amazing. I really do. It's kind of got that postmodern space look. In other words, it's not like Psycho, but it's kind of like more of a modular frame design. And just... yeah, it's really cool. Now, one thing to take note on this particular ship, oh, it's also asymmetrical on the front there. I love that too. That is cool. This one doesn't land. It is a spaceship. I noticed when I tried to park it, there wasn't landing gear on it. That's why I kept it off the ground a little bit. But that makes sense because these ships in the Expanse do not land either. They are spaceships in space, and that makes total sense with this. I was just taking a look at all the different features and interesting things to look at on the exterior here, like this big robotic arm. That's cool. That's cool. It looks like it would work too. It really does, the way this is set up. And I love how this part's used again too. I've seen this part used for many different things now. And this is no exception on a great use for of that part to make like an arm, and it looks like it would swivel and move and like like it's building Teslas. It had a little red on there or something. Yeah, very cool ship on the outside. I love this part too. This whole I don't know if these are like fuel cells or cargo storage units or whatever they may be. They look really really good on the back, and then of course the different color on the very back, and then it's kind of like cut into the shaping to create a more of a unique pattern out of it with two-tone colors, and that is nice. That is really cool. I like that. The color can do so much when you use it like this. You color one part of a block one shade, and then especially these half blocks where you get like half a block, you can do it a different shade. Then it kind of dials it in. Doesn't make it look as voxely that way because CV blocks are actually pretty big. They're like I think they're like either 8 or 10 foot blocks. But when you cut in and you split them in half and you do all these tricks along the sides with them, like you can see what's going on here, using different blocks to create those ridges. That looks really, really nice too. And then round it off coming into the one part. Yeah, the whole aesthetics of this are really, really good. Definitely love it. So let's go in this. And I got to say, this part here, this looks pretty amazing too. Love this entranceway. It's like it's open in space. It looks very very spacey, but it's not trying to. This is probably like an OPA from Expanse kind of creation, so it's not like super expensive and stylish and high end. Well, it might be high end, but it's just it's OPA. It's not a luxury ship. But that looks great. In fact, it looks. I gotta check this out with lighting too. I'm seeing obvious lights going on here, and I just wanted to see how this looks in the dark. But I've noticed that the game got entirely dark on so many things, so you could probably barely see this right now. But you do see the red lighting and the catwalks and things like that. And I think it looks amazing, even in the dark setting like this. Let me get the light back on though. But it looks amazing in the daytime too, because of all this wonderful shadow effects you get going through these different parts, and how the shadows come down on the floor tile and reflect off from these pieces. That is just something that adds more detail. I mean, if you can get a lot of shadow detail into something, it will increase the overall detail of the creation. But it's sometimes hard to do depending on the creation. You got to use certain blocks that will cast shadows according to those blocks. Not everything does. Obviously, these pieces do, and there's a couple other pieces that will, but a lot of things won't. So let's see. Going through there, looks like we got this nice little tunnel that kind of goes through here up into the bridge. It looks like airlock, atmosphere recycling, airlock sealed. That is cool. So when this door is open. Does that say anything? No, okay. Oh yeah, it does. It does change it. So it's triggered by the door on those LCDs up on the on there. So like right now the airlock's open and the atmosphere is venting. Okay, and then once the door closed, the airlock is sealed and the atmosphere is recycling. That is cool. You got yeah. I keep on calling ladders elevators. That's probably incorrect there. I noticed I did that with a different video the other day too. Where does this go? Oh, okay. So this gets up to a bathroom up over here. Nice catwalk over everything. Oh, crew quarters. Oh, I like how these bunk beds are done. Kind of stacked up there, and it's using some railing pieces as like side pieces for the beds. That looks really cool. Slick idea. Definitely slick idea. And it looks like we've got a nice big medical bay over here. Very nice. Shower right next to it. Yeah, so full medical bay. I think I was looking for the main med station. Is that here? see all the parts. It's probably in this room area somewhere. I don't know. I see the shower. All right, well, maybe it's down on the first floor here. Yeah, there it is. And then you got your O2 and that. Oh, I like how that's done too. The O2 is turned around the other way with a pipe going to it. That's cool. I didn't even notice that when I was in the bridge before. Let's head to the back part of the ship here a minute. Make sure I didn't miss anything else here. Yeah, this just looks amazing though. The central open corridor. Love it. I love seeing like these catwalks and there's stuff like below it too. Like this is all like there's pipes and there's your ventilator and stuff below the floor. That looks really cool. More of that. Let me get to the back of the ship here. This is actually a pretty big ship. At first I was thinking, it's not that big, and then you start walking around through it and you realize it's quite a bit bigger than you think here. So yeah, deconstructor, a bunch of small constructors. I do like a set of small constructors like this too. Great for processing, basic ore or stone or whatever, a lot of that stuff that you need to do. And then you can use your advanced constructors to build the more complicated parts. More O2 over there, more constructors. Oh, I like how they're turned sideways like that. Depending on how you turn these things, they can look totally different. So that's when you're building creations too, you can always experiment with that. Try to make housings, flip the constructors different ways, try to display them one way or another. Oh, this looks cool too. Like this vent is perched up. Then we got another ladder going down, which is actually going below that deck area. So, that is cool. Yeah, I like the whole thing with these subfloors in here too. That just has that feeling of realism. So what's in the center? Okay, that's how I came here. And then we get in this big back room over here. I love how this warp core is displayed as well. Open tech right in there, and this housing built for it. The wiring going to it. Oh, that's a cool idea. It's these little things too that I notice. Like a lot of times, I've used these pipes a couple times. Not too much because they're probably pretty expensive towards size class, but they do look nice. But one thing I had a problem with is there wasn't a block that would like turn them up into the ceiling. You could like turn them down a wall, but you couldn't turn them up into the ceiling. And he's done it with this round block and textured that way, which looks like it almost is the right part to turn it up into the ceiling like that. So that's why I was admiring that block and how it was used. That was a cool idea. I'm going to remember that. The next time you see me use pipes, you could almost count on me using one of these blocks here. I'm going to steal that, Filbert. Yeah, and we got some generators back over there. And yeah, no, this is a slick ship. It really is. It looks like it has its function. It definitely has the aesthetics. I love the general style of it, where it's just, it feels right. It feels like a spaceship. It doesn't feel like a spaceship from 2,000 years in the future. It feels like a spaceship like 200 years in the future. So that would be my assessment there. And yeah, that's just amazing how this looks too. I have to see this in space in different environments too, on how insane that looks with different lighting environments around it. Very, very cool design here. Actually, let's take a look at some technical specs here too. So we're size class 5. At least stock, it doesn't have a whole lot of weaponry on it. It's pretty light on weaponry. Plenty of, let's see, 16, yeah, plenty of fuel. So this thing's going to go for quite a long time. It's not dealing with solar at all. CPU wise, it has, yeah, it's not real high on CPU either. 850,000. You can go to 2.1 million with stock CPU cores in Reforged Eden. So adding cores to this, you could add a lot more stuff. Obviously, there's places where you could dump more weapons on the hull of this too. I was just looking to see if there was any predefined like locations for weapons or turrets, but I think this is mostly about the aesthetics of it. Although it does have pretty good function inside. One last thing I want to check out here. Oh, wrong button. Is the storage here on it. That'd be the Kopi. So we got a cargo bay 1, 320k, cargo bay 2, 320k, 3, 4, all 320s, fuel items. Okay, that's something else. Fridge input, constructor input, another 320k, deconstructor input, 320k. So if I read this right, now there's a lot of other boxes in here, and some of these, but I think they're mostly boxes. So I'm counting 6 320k storage systems. Oops. I just wanted to see the ammo box. Okay, so we got, looks like 2 standard ammo boxes at 14k apiece. Makes sense. It doesn't have a lot of guns on it, so you won't need a lot of ammo boxes at all. That's a good way to kind of do it too. Not sure why they removed the simple ammo boxes from HVs and SVs in the main game. At least you can cheat and put one in there and they still work, which I did do before. But the only way I was able to do that is to copy it from a older creation and then paste it onto the newer creation because it wasn't in the menu to actually add it. But it still worked and it didn't complain about it after that was done. But for the life of me, I don't exactly know why they removed that functionality. It seems to make no sense at all on why you wouldn't want the availability of a standard ammo box. I know there's controllers. I know you can build out controllers easy enough, but sometimes, you know, depending on your on how small the creation is, you don't have room to have a separated controller, and the ammo box could fit between other container extensions without interfering with them or whatnot. So it's a nice solution, and not every ship needs a lot of ammo. So this one doesn't need a whole bunch. Two 14k storage boxes is plenty. Anyway, awesome work on this one. I would definitely check this one out. Looks like a very, very cool ship. Love the aesthetics of it for sure. So the next one here, this one's very, very cool too, and this is the CCS Mestra M1 fighter by barefootnhilbily, and love the styling of this. Love the colors. This one definitely has to me a Star Wars look. Again with the colors, I think more of a like a rebel Star Wars kind of ship because of this. This color shading here, which adds so much. Can you imagine if it didn't have this color? It wouldn't look bad, but I'm just saying how much accents you get from just that little bit of color that's added in there. And then there's other tone colors too, like these cargo boxes over here on the side, or kind of. I would assume that they would be cargo boxes, something that this thing picks up, like it's more of a transport ship. Ooh, the back end looks really cool too. I like this. Is that a reverse cockpit or just a really cool room off the back? It looks like a really cool room off the back. That is nice. I like the roundish there. Definitely love these kind of thin block panels here. That looks really cool. Kind of like maybe a protective armor potentially. Star Wars does a lot of that kind of stuff. Sometimes I don't really understand the physics in the Star Wars galaxy, but it's a different galaxy far, far away, so everything could be different there, I suppose. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. The twin front turrets, that looks pretty cool that way. Oh, look at this window. Using those new window glass blocks done right, so you got this perfect round circle that way. That is slick. Yeah, and the landing, nice looking landing gear. Always love to see stuff like that. The bottom looks really cool too, and these whole boxes look like a separate creation. That they could actually technically be modules. That could be actual separate creations, and then you you dock them into the side of it. I think that could possibly work too. Not that you need it, but I'm just saying. Well, anyway, here, let me hop in here. Let's take this big ramp here that gets up to the inside of it. Oh, that's cool. Interesting. Yeah, arc topway like that. Oh yeah, I'm looking out those really cool windows. That's slick. And we got a teleporter over here, hooked up to the sensor. Yep. Definitely nice. Oh, we got our medical bay over here. Very cool. All the parts in the air and the main med station. Love the glass canopy here around the bridge, and how the pilot seat is elevated a little bit too. It kind of gives you that downward look, and you got good visibility all around pretty much. I guess you can't see straight sideways, but you probably couldn't piloting anyway. In fact, yeah, that's about your view right there. That's nice. And the railing kind of done in the industrial color. That is very cool. We got a loading ramp. Looks like we've got some more ladders going down over to the sides over here. Again, this is probably I don't know. This is slick. I like this too. Ah, nice boarding bays on the side. Caution decals look really good with that. I like the grittiness of it too, where you got some different textures in here, but you got like some of this metal mixed in with these other metal pieces, and creates kind of a neat looking pattern. Definitely like that. We've got a farm too with our grow light. Really cool LCD up here. That's nice and detailed too. Yeah, our grow light there. Cook up some food. Storage bays. Looks like our main CPU and core room over here. Yep. Of course, the LCD will say that too. And we got status on it. You got to have the status of your course. Wow. So yeah, this keeps on heading back here. This gets to that back room that we've seen with the really cool glass window area there. It looks like a full kitchen here. Food processor, fridges. And we got upstairs over here. It gets to your the bedroom. Nice symbol over there. And we've got some like kind of catwalk flooring there as well. A little bit of carpeting over in this section here with that's neat. It's using the God, what piece is that? I'm confused. What piece is that? I know there's a round. Hold on. This is gonna bother me. So hold on. I'm gonna jump in to Deco, grab this, and try to figure out what I'm looking at. Let me turn off a shield too. Sorry, Barefoot Hillbilly. I gotta figure out what part you're using here. I just do, because that looks interesting, and I didn't think there was a corner piece like that, because I thought there was this piece. But is there a little piece? There is a little piece. Is that new? I swear I've never seen it. I've never seen this little piece. Oh wow, didn't even know it existed. So yeah, you could do like something like that with 4 of these little pieces then. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Well, learned something new touring the ship. Didn't know this piece existed. Somehow I always missed it. I wanted this piece before. I literally did. I was like, I want to do a corner, but I want to do it sharper. And I missed it. So, yeah, that piece exists, guys. You probably all knew it. I'm the only one who didn't, but hey, that's cool. Amazing what you find when you walk through these ships. So many ideas and innovative things, and different uses of parts and colors and textures and stuff. Gives you lots of ideas. Anyway, this is it's a pretty sweet ship here as well. Just trying to see if I missed any particular areas. So we got our loading ramp. That's where I came in at. Looks like there's some stuff down over here. Oh, that's right. I didn't go down. Yeah, I did. That's really cool how these cargo boxes are displayed that way too. The way it's set up and the way the straps are on them, it does kind of look like they would be supported correctly. Did I miss anything along the front? Nope. We got our storage. We'll have to take a look at that too. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's more. There's got to be more. Or these boxes. Oh, okay. So yeah, these big storage boxes on the side are actually storage. That's cool. And this is how you interface them here. So yeah, let's take a look at its storage and then specs here. So what do we got in this ship? We got a container controller at 320, another at 320, another at 320, another at 320. It's 4 320s, cargo pellets, 4 320s, and an ammo controller at 32K. Did I get this right with the other ones here? Yeah, 320 and 32. Nice, well-rounded numbers there. That's slick. That is slick. That's slick too. Like if you use two LCDs, you can trigger one to do one thing and the other to do display something else, and then overlap them over the same area where they're projected to make switches that actually have changes the display. And that is very cool. Yeah. Anyway, awesome looking ship, great styling, nice use of colors, overall look and feel of it. So the last one here is by someone we were kind of playing with quite a bit, who hasn't built a huge number of things, but every build he's been doing lately has just been getting exponentially better. And this is no exception here. This is the Starfire ACV by L Donk, and yeah, he's been building away lately, and this is a new one. This is obviously like an Anvil XBC color scheme, and looks very sweet. This is a Reforged Eden combat ship, so it is designed specifically very much for combat. Love this this X-shaped pattern on the front of it. That is very cool to look at. Interesting styling there. And this one's got a bunch of turrets on it. This one's going to need better CPU cores beyond the base Reforged Eden one. So it will need some quantums or auxiliary or something like that, or some hamsters. I don't know if you guys get the hamster thing or not, but that's the hamsters are real in the season 3 of Anvil server, and they acquiring some of these hamsters in the right facilities and things for them that give you CPU, so you can have a hamster powered CPU ship. Very cool design on this too. I'm now noticing too the color fluctuation here too. Between it's got kind of a silver or blue silver, and then more of a defined blue, and then darker shades here. Looks like it's got some lighter shades over here. It's got some red over here. Wow, look at all this color. It's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So on this one here too, this is kind of set up by I was looking at it before, and this whole front end is filled with like Xeno. So this is kind of like a it has an exterior, the blocks are in, looks like steel, but then it has a inner layer of Xeno on the inside to keep the weight down but the strength up. And then it has decoy parts in here on the front. And this whole area is completely filled, probably with mostly Xeno, I would guess. And then some storage controllers inside of there, but they are actually pretty far back from the very front. And Interesting how this turret's positioned upward like that too. I suppose that would cover more front area. Another nice thing about this too is, well, I guess depending on how you're doing it, if you're a little bit off angled when you're attacking something, which you typically would be attacking a ship, that all these turrets could shoot a little bit off to the side like this, because these back ones couldn't fire directly through the turret in front of it, but it's still pretty effective even at doing it this way, especially when you're maneuvering around a ship. You get a bunch of turrets on it. All these back ones do have good line of sight, where every one of these is like one row out or before the other row. And we have our reverse thrusters wedged way back in here, which is great. Keep them off the front of the ship. Strafing thrusters are out in this section here. More strafing thrusters in back there. And we got 4 big forward thrusters here. Looks like all the thrusters on this one are, well, most of them are Excels except for this group over here, which are just large thrusters, but still, that's quite a bit of thrust power. So I imagine this thing, especially if it's how the hull was built with steel outer layer, well, carbon over here, I guess. Steel, carbon, I guess it depends, but and then a Xeno inner layer. So all these blocks that you're not seeing in here, I would assume a lot of those are, or probably most of those are Xeno. So let's hop in here a minute. So I'll go through the this loading door here on the bottom. Oh, and this gets okay. So this gets us up to the hangar area in back here. I like the glass in there, and it looks like that's where our CPU cores are being kept, as well as the main ship core. Very nice, very nice. And we head through here. Oh, look at the oxygen here. That looks cool. 2 of those ventilators like that. We got this catwalk that walks over the warp core and the shield down there. That's cool. Getting 2 big parts kind of placed in there in a nice place, and this would keep you far enough away to get any effects from that as you're walking through. Hold on, I'm gonna get out of God mode a minute. Oh, I fell. that's what. I see. I can't maneuver out of God mode. How do you get around without flying? Here, let me. I was just trying to see if I stood here, if I would get. Yeah, I was a little worried about that. The generators up top would need a full block kitty corner to prevent you from getting fried from them walking through here. So as you do walk through, you will hit 350 degrees Celsius going through the center here. So that'd be one thing. Yeah, you gotta have so much room between you and these parts. It needs to be a full block on all sides. So basically, if there's only one generator here and you're walking down this, if there is a block row here where the thing was, you would be safe from that generator. But this puts you a little bit too close to that, where you do get a lot of heat and rads getting through there. Just something to note. Here, let me get back into God mode here a second. And okay, so where is the pilot seat? Now this is just probably engineering anyway, so you don't really need to go there unless you're fixing something. Let's head up the elevator over here. Oh, this goes up in the center now. And yeah, we get to the bridge. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, I did see this before in game when we took a look at this ship, and you can kind of see that, yeah, the inside layers are like Xenobox. You can tell by the very distinct Xeno textures here. And then the cool glass canopy there. So you do actually have a first-person view on this one, which is kind of nice. Some of the ships, especially combat-oriented ships that I do, a couple of them that don't have any first-person view at all. I kind of regret that. I like having a first-person view, but in the type of ships, basically the MCRN 258 and the Scar Badger. Neither of those have first-person combat or bridges on them. And oh, these are wardrobes. Okay, interesting. That looks kind of neat too, as another deco part that you could pop in an unusual place. Anyway, very cool ship again, and slick design. As in that engineering thing, I was bringing up. Actually, in context, for some reason, I thought the bridge was up there, and you had to go through there every time when you were going to the bridge, and then I felt that would be problematic, but that's not the case. The bridge is not up there, and that doesn't go anywhere. So that's strictly engineering. So you would only need to go there if you wanted to go to engineering for whatever reason. So it's not like a main thing. So I probably put way too much emphasis on the location of those generators now, realizing that the bridge is not there. If it was up in front of there, that would be really problematic, but that's not the case. Yeah, slick ship. Looks like it would do a pretty good job. You probably have tested this already. I'd feel quite confident in this. Flying around, shooting stuff up. Looks like it could take a beating and put out quite a bit of stuff here. Let's take a look at the specs on it here. Alright, so main stats here, we're size class 4. A lot of turrets. On here. We got long range radar, 26 missile turrets, 11 cannon turrets, 10 miniguns. It's got 4 artillery cannons, 4 flak, and 12 more laser turrets. Again, quite a lot of fuel tanks at 24 fuel tanks, 22-hour and 49-minute build time. CPU is going to need quite a few quad cores. Not an insane amount, but quite a bit, enough to get it to where it's at here. 4.9 million CPU. I wonder if it says how many quantum cores are in here. Oh, yeah, it does. 14 quantum cores. So you need to be able to have those available, or the stuff to build them when you spawn this in. Actually, I'm curious on that. If I were to want to spawn this ship in Starfire, I'm just kind of curious on what kind of resources, because okay, so it does require the actual physical quantum cores in your possession before you can spawn it. Okay, that makes sense. Just wanted to double check that. So yeah, that's all the creations I've got this week. Now I've been heavily working on that Dreadnought destroyer kind of ship. I've got a lot of updates done to it. I don't want to show it until I kind of release it, I guess. Again, I did put in lots more time since I last shown it in my own video things. I did show it yesterday in Excalibur's stream, so if you wanted to check that out, it has a lot of updates. There's a couple more things I needed to do to it. We were wanting to put all the correct turrets on there, but we actually didn't get that accomplished. So I kind of back at square one with that. So I will keep on working on it, and I'm planning on releasing it probably this Sunday. So yeah. Anyway, you all have yourself a good weekend, and again, some amazing creations. All the creativity. I learned some new things, a couple new tricks on these ships again. And it's amazing, you know, I've been at this for a long time, and yeah, you just keep on learning more and more things, and it seems to be endless on the amount of new things you can learn. So you never really have to get stuck in some kind of rut where you only can do so many things and you hit your potential. It doesn't really work that way. You can always pull off more things and learn new things. So anyway, y'all have yourself a good weekend. I will talk to you later.